This is Dave, and I'm down here in my shop. I just got a dozen of the Executioner, Black Eagle Executioners, and I'm going to take you through the process of how I go about getting to the final product on my crossbow arrows. I've been shooting zombie slayers, but I wanted to try the Executioners out of the mission. These are my competition arrows, and so I'm going to take you through the steps of what I do for the final product. And we're going to go ahead and spin these. I'm going to show you something I found. I found one of these, this one right here. I marked it on this side. It has a little bit of wobble on this end. I did these with my compound arrows, and if I found a wobble on one end of the arrow, I would cut that end off. And man, did that make a difference in accuracy. So this was the only one that had a little bit of inconsistent wobble when I spun it. So I'll just spin these, and you can see the end. And I see just a little bit of wobble in this end. But at this point, this step in the game here, what I'm doing is spine indexing, and I use my my Last Chance archery press to do this. The first thing I measured to make sure this is level. I measured and put dots on my press here. I have one of the Executioners in. I already did these, so I'm going to double check them, and we'll show you how I do that. So let's go ahead and get started on the indexing. So what I did, I marked these, as you can see here, with a Sharpie. And what I want, I'll put this in here, and I put 2 inserts, and I'll screw points into both sides. I don't glue them in, of course, but they're in there, and it gives it a good point of contact to be able to bend correctly. So you want to put inserts with points in both sides. So I'll put this in here, and then I'll just put a little bit of pressure, and you can see I have the spine. I'm going to put my cock feather on this plane because I want this arrow to bend away from the rail coming out of the crossbow. Before I mark them, I'll go a quarter, and I'll go just go around the clock, and we'll come around. Okay, so that one tests I have my mark in the right place. I have my arrow cutter set up here, and I marked 21 inch on the carbon. So we're going to go ahead and fire this up, and I'm going to cut one and double check it. Okay, we're going to cut them all right there. So we'll go through this. Okay, they are all cut. The next process will be to square the ends. So I'll do one here, and I usually mark them. You can use a Sharpie, just something that you can see on the end of the arrow. You know it's flush when all that is taken off. This is a G5 ASD tool. You can do aluminum on the one side, turn it around, and you can do carbon on the other. So we're going to roll this arrow until we square that off on the end. And there's 20 times. And we have just a little bit of paint left, so we're going to keep going on it until we clear all that off. That looks pretty good on that one. So we can put that aside. We'll go to the next one here. So that's what you do. You continue, you just do all 12 of them. and then we'll move on to the next step. I use denatured alcohol and a Q-tip, and I just go in there to get the black dust out of there. Then, so that's the next step, cleaning them out, getting the carbon dust out of there. And then I use the quick dry Loctite super glue, and I'm going to put the brass inserts in the arrows, and all I do, I'll just run 3 beads down. I spread it out evenly, and then you want to make sure you get this in quick, and then I just spin it, and you'll just let it set for a second, rub off the excess, and it's tight. I spin it to get the glue spread out inside the arrow evenly. So, and that's it for the inserts. So the inserts are in. We'll go ahead and put the other 10 in here, and then we'll move on to the next step. So the next step in the process is to install the knock. It's very easy. I use the Black Eagle Half Moon knock. All you do, it's just a press fit. These are 300 thousandths inside diameter. And all you do is get your mark. You're going to want to do this before you fletch the vanes. Put the vanes on. So you just push them in on your mark. Like the string will go in here. This is your cock feather mark. So you don't need these set exactly to your cock vane, perpendicular to your cock vane, until after you fletch the vanes, because you're going to put it in the jig. You're just going to spin your arrow so that you can put your cock vane on at your mark in the jig. That's how easy it is to put these style of knocks in. And then the final step would be to put the vanes on. Okay, so the next step in the process of building your arrow would be to glue on the vanes. And I have a separate video for that. Go ahead and watch this video right here, and that will show my process of how I go through and put my vanes on. And then the last thing would be just to get a field tip or your broadhead and screw in the end of it. But that's the process that I go through to build my arrows, and it works very well. They shoot very accurate, and you get a good arrow build that way. So appreciate you coming to the channel, and hopefully this video will help you as you go ahead and try to build your own arrows. We'll see you on the next video.